Hello aspirants, you're here into the UPSC radio presented by UPSC Launch. In this episode, we are going to discuss about rights, duties and the constitution. See, recently at an event celebrating the 28th Foundation Day of the National Human Rights Commission, the Indian Prime Minister said that while the world was focusing on human rights, keeping our Indian traditions in mind, we must emphasize duties as well, unquote. This is the statement by very Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So let's understand about the rights, duties and the constitution and what context the Prime Minister has said and what are the concept of duties, concept of rights and how they follow the different logic and how they go hand in hand. All about rights and duties. When viewed through the lens of the Indian Constitution, the suggestion that rights and duties are interlinked is incorrect because duties do not take primacy over rights. Rather, rights exist without any corresponding duties. In 1925, Mohandas Kamchand Gandhi, the very father of our nation, said that the true source of the right is duty. If we all discharge our duties, rights will not be far to seek. In his book, Hind Swaraj, he wrote, real rights are a result of the performance of duty. Now, let's understand the concept of duties and rights. First of all, the concept of duties. As citizens, there exists a wide range of duties that bind us in everyday life. These duties are owed both to the state and individuals. There is a legal duty to pay taxes, to refrain from the committing violence against fellow citizens and to follow other laws that Parliament has enacted. And breach of these legal duties triggers financial consequences such as fines or it could be a punitive measures like imprisonment. Duties follow a simple logic that peaceful coexistence requires a degree of self-sacrifice and that if necessary this must be enforced through the set of sanctions. Now, while coming to the concept of rights, rights are formulated to ascertain twin principles which is anti-dehumanization and anti-hierarchy. In India, this can be reflected in a chapter on fundamental rights in the Constitution. Now here you have to understand two important points. As I said, against dehumanization and against the hierarchy. So the right as a bulwark against dehumanization, framers of the Indian Constitution while deliberating on fundamental rights were of the view that every human being should have access to basic dignity and equality that cannot be taken away by the state. And the necessity for fundamental rights in India originated from the experiences under the colonial regime where Indians had been treated as subjects. For example, the colonial government declared some groups of people as criminal tribes who were treated as very less than human. Right as a stand against hierarchy, you have to understand this point that Indian society has been divided into the lines of gender, caste and religion. Fundamental rights at a basic level ensure the protection of all the citizens not only from the state but from the social majorities as well. For example, through guarantees against forced labor, against untouchability, against discriminatory access to public spaces and others fundamental rights like sought to bring a transformation in Indian society. Here let's understand that rights and duties, both of them follow different logic. Indian Constitution provides its citizens with the fundamental rights and lists the fundamental duties to be followed by them. The Constitution covers a broad spectrum of the domains to protect the rights of the common man by introducing 6 rights as fundamental rights in the part 3 of the very Indian Constitution. Similarly, the fundamental duties are also emphasized upon by the Constitution under part 4A of the Indian Constitution. So these two follow different logic but they go hand in hand. Let's discuss. As I said the Mahatma Gandhi in his book Hind Swaraj observed that real rights are a result of the performance of duty. See here, the rights and duties are closely related and cannot be separated from one another. For every right, there is a corresponding duty. The state protects and enforces rights to all citizens be loyal to the state. Thus, a citizen has both rights and duties. According to Harold Lasky, one man's right is also his duty. He has given this statement. For example, if the state gives the right to life to a citizen, it also imposes an obligation on him not to expose his life to dangers as well as to respect the life of others. Here, you have to understand that does this suggest that duties are unimportant? As indicated all the examples till now, duties exist in every sphere of society. However, It is a language of duties that can play an important role in a society like India that continues to be divided and unequal. Any duty imposed upon the citizens must comply with due process of law. The concept of due process of law holds that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property except following the explicit provision of law and with due regard to his rights. Without the moral compass of rights and their place in the transformative constitutional scheme, the language of duties can lead to unpleasant consequences. Let me tell you a good example. Supreme Court judgment from the early 1980s, which upheld the differential treatment of male and female flight attendants on the ground that women had a duty to ensure the good upbringing of children and to ensure the success of the family planning program for the country. So, in this light, it is always critical to remember Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's words in the Constitution Assembly that the fundamental unit of the Constitution remains the individual. Interpretation of duties and the debate around it should include the duties of those with power. Those with power should not use it to exploit those from whom they wield it. It is only after guarantee to all the full sum of humanity, dignity, equality, and freedom promised by the Constitution that we can ask of them to do their duties. It is only after ensuring humanity, dignity, equality, and freedom for all, as promised by the Constitution, that the burden of the following the duties should be imposed on the citizens. I hope you do like this episode. If you do like this, please share it with your friends and share them about UPSC launch. We are coming with a new app and new website for the UPSC launch. You can wait and you can have access to all the UPSC content and UPSC launch. Here we are making the learning with happy a possibility. This is MM signing off. Let's meet in the next important concept and let's analyze that in the later episode. Thank you.